So it has been difficult to record this video for a number of reasons. I could probably spend all day listing out why I'm leaving the left. All the instances in which I've wanted to, all the times I decided not to, the back and the forth. I could go over it for days, probably, but I will try not to do that. Secondly, my friends have no idea how I feel, politically speaking. I've made it a policy not to speak about politics to them. It really doesn't seem like a good place to do that. And I guess my third reason is I work in a corner of publishing where it's particularly unforgiving to hold unpopular views. Career-ending kind of unforgiving. The mobs will come for you and burn you and anyone else that you, that supports you. And so to say that I have felt silenced and afraid and quietly disappointed, I guess is a good way to say it, would be an understatement. To make it simple, I'm leaving the left because I can no longer wrap my head around the senseless violence that comes out of it. I do not believe that whites are inherently racist any more than I believe that blacks are inherently racist, or Asians are inherently racist, or any other group is racist in any capacity. I think when you start to believe that someone is born a certain way is when you're starting to commit that racist, you're passing over that threshold, because people aren't born with those sorts of beliefs and ideas. Those are things you learn. But the left right now has all manners of people believing that they were born bad. I cannot wrap my head around it. I have sat back and watched my friends have conversations amongst themselves where they all want to get together and have white supremacy and me meetings, like it's some book club, except you're there to address your inherent racism. And I've declined multiple times because I don't believe in that. I don't believe the left understands people anymore. I don't think they want to. It reminds me of a time when I was growing up. I had a lot of emotional problems. I was in foster care. And all I remembered for a short time of my life was feeling rage. I was mad at my mom for abandoning me, and I was mad at the world for even making me if I was going to suffer, and I was mad, and I was mad, and I was mad, and I was so mad. I broke my things, and I destroyed things in my house. I was so mad that I really did think at times that destroying and starting over was the only way. And I was a kid. I didn't really understand my own feelings, and I didn't understand how to cope with them or discuss them with other people. And so I was ruled by them. And I truly believe that the left has taught its base to be ruled by their emotions, their rage, instead of logic, instead of reason, instead of understanding the full picture. Did I have a right to be angry? I did. Did I have a right to destroy things over it? Probably not. But that's how I see it. When I'm sitting in the left and I just feel like there's so much rage that's directed everywhere. There are always problems, but there are never solutions. There are always perpetrators and victims. There are never perpetrators who were probably victims, and there are never victims who are perpetrators, and everything is very black and white. To speak personally of something recently that has just been pushing me over the edge, and I'm trying to keep this short, so I don't want to go on forever. Again, I work in publishing. We all talk about book burnings and how horrible it is to have those ideas scorched from existence. But people were able to read them, and people were able to make up their minds about that literature, about those ideas that were in those books. But I can tell you with certainty in publishing, there are dozens of books that you never know about every year because the left makes sure that they never get published. The best way to ensure that people don't have ideas, can't express ideas, is to convince them that having them in the first place is wrong and to never write them down. Imagine if Anne Frank never wrote her story down. How would you even know? I sit there on Twitter and I watch people destroy each other. I see things about how white writers aren't as good at writers as writers of color, and white writers are inherently racist, and white people are evil, and white people aren't wearing any masks, and there's so much rage everywhere. And in publishing in particular, there's enough rage that people are joining to snuff out ideas before Americans can even see them, before people like you and me can even make up our own minds. And don't even get me started on the BS with the media as of late. I guess you can say that I am ultimately leaving the left because I don't see value in controlling what other people think, what they say, what they do, how they feel. I don't think that that benefits society at all. I think having opposing views and being able to debate them make us stronger people. I think the left has made its followers weak. Followers who can't even hear criticism without succumbing to the I'm a victim of something mentality. And I don't understand that. I cannot wrap my head around why, beyond nefarious reasons, you would even want to have your followers be so ignorant and childish and incapable of actually coping with the world. You want trigger warnings, but they're not actually going to help you. Because when life actually happens to you, there's no one there that's going to police it and make sure that you feel comfortable with it. And that's what life has taught me, and that's life in general. And I can't wrap my head around the left and its obsession with bubble wrapping and red taping everything. And I'm scared. I am scared to actually say that to people in my field, and say that to people because I have seen companies being actually ripped down and destroyed for not even saying it explicitly, like just subtweeting or something. And it's insanity. But I can't sit here and pretend anymore like stripping people of language and thought isn't something that I consider to be abhorrent and cowardly and really just childish. So I am walking away.